This is the Jap Solothurn submachine gun, caliber 9mm. It's blowback operated, air-cooled, and is fed by a 30-round box-type magazine. For single shot fire, push the change lever to the rear. To cock the weapon, pull the cocking handle to the rear as far as it'll go. A safety catch is provided on top of the receiver, in front of the rear sight. The bolt can be locked in either the forward or the rear position. To open the cover, press in on the cover lock latch. Then remove the bolt group by pulling to the rear. Lift out the front of the bolt first. Remove the firing pin housing backplate by turning a quarter turn to the right. Pull out the cocking handle. The firing pin will then slide out of its housing. The point of the firing pin inserted in this hole will unlock the extractor, which can then be easily removed. This is the bolt group disassembled. The barrel is detached by unscrewing the barrel locking nut. The driving spring, which is accessible through the butt of the stock, is removed by pressing inward and turning right or left a half turn. This is the Solothurn submachine gun in a field strip disassembly. The grenade discharger Type 89 is widely issued in the Japanese Army. The enemy has developed a variety of uses for this weapon. This is the Type 89 shell. It's inserted into the muzzle end of the barrel, fuse end up. To decrease the range control head is turned clockwise. To increase, turn counterclockwise. The discharger is fired by holding the weapon in the left hand and pulling downward on the trigger with the right. The same method of loading the piece is used in firing the 97 HE hand grenade. The same procedure for increasing or decreasing the range is followed, and the weapon is fired in the same manner. This is the Japanese Nambu light machine gun, caliber 6.5mm, model 1922. It's gas-operated, air-cooled, and is fed from a 30-round box-type hopper. After filling the hopper, the follower is lowered, and the gas regulator is adjusted for smooth operation. Preparatory to firing, the rear sight, which is of the sliding ramp type, is adjusted. There is no provision for windage made on this sight adjustment. To steady the gun for firing, notice that the stock is grasped firmly in the left hand. This gun is equipped with a safety. Safe is in the forward position, fire in the rear. The weapon is cocked by pulling back on the cocking handle as far as it'll go. To field strip, the hopper may be removed by exerting a backward pressure on the feed housing lock with the thumb of the right hand. To remove the back plate, turn the lock pin a quarter turn to the left and drift out left to right. Then the back plate and the driving spring can be removed from the receiver. The driving spring and rod are separated. The entire operating mechanism, comprising the piston, piston rod extension, and the bolt, are removed from the receiver. The bolt is detached from the piston rod extension. Move the cocking handle to the rear position. To separate the trigger group from the receiver, the retaining pin must be drifted out from right to left. The trigger group will then slide off to the rear of the receiver. The barrel jacket is locked to the receiver by a lock pin. After it's removed, unscrew the receiver. The barrel slides easily out of the barrel jacket. The gas regulator is unscrewed by turning counterclockwise. The gas piston tube is removed from the barrel jacket by pressure rearward on the tube. The functioning and disassembly of the Nambu light machine gun is very similar to that of the heavy machine gun which follows. This is the Japanese heavy ground machine gun, Model 92. The caliber is 7.7 millimeter. It is gas-operated, air-cooled, and is fed by 30-round plate chargers. To get it into action, remove the tripod carrying arms. Then insert the 30-round plate charger into the feedway. The cradle elevating mechanism is unlocked by turning the lock handle 1/4 turn. This frees the wheel which lowers or raises the cradle. To traverse the gun, squeeze tightly on the traversing lock handle, then turn it counterclockwise a half turn. To lock the traversing mechanism, reverse the procedure. There are two ways to elevate and depress this weapon. It can be done manually by unlocking the elevating hand wheel and turning the lock handle a half turn counterclockwise. Or mechanically by locking the mechanism and turning the elevating hand wheel. On this gun, the trigger acts as the safety. To place the gun in the safe position, turn the trigger a 1/4 turn counterclockwise. Adjust the gas regulator for smooth firing. To field strip the weapon, release the plate charger by pulling outward on the holding pole. Then pull back on the cocking handle as far as it'll go. In freeing the bolt, pull outward on the holding pole to release it from the operating slide. By pressing on the trigger with both thumbs, the bolt is released. To elevate the grips, press in on the grip locks on either side. Then remove the gun from its mount by pulling out on the elevating arm lock pin and releasing the locking catches from the gun cradle lugs. The telescopic sight may be removed by turning the lock screw counterclockwise a half turn. The lock pin has been removed, and the back plate can now be separated from the receiver. Next, the driving spring comes out, and the buffer is lifted off the driving spring rod. The operating mechanism, consisting of the piston, piston rod extension, and bolt, comes out of the receiver as a unit. Separate the bolt from the piston rod extension. Then remove the firing pin. Now the bolt lock can be separated from the bolt. Before the cocking handle can be removed from the receiver, it must be in the rear position. The gas regulator is unscrewed from the gas piston tube. And finally, remove the oil reservoir, which is held in place by a retaining screw. This reservoir is used to oil the cartridges before they're fired, as this gun does not have an initial slow extraction. The Japs use this weapon in several different ways, as a light anti-aircraft gun, and even mounted on some of their tanks. Here they are again, Japanese Army weapons. Rifles, the Model 38 and the newer Model 99. The Solothurn submachine gun. Type 89 grenade discharger, the Nambu light machine gun, Model 1922, and the heavy ground machine gun, Model 92. Knowing something about these weapons may prove mighty useful someday.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like more informative content, check my main channel as well, where you can find in-depth videos about historical weapons, vehicles and events. See the link in the description.